And now we are live on Zoom, live on YouTube, live on the Sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron's internet radio station. I'm thankful and grateful for being here today. We're going to allow a minute or two to let some folks get here and show up. Take some time to relax your mind, ease and soothe your heart, relegate and balance your emotions, and just prepare yourself to meet your mastered self. Because it's coming. It is indeed its way. And we are back and we are live. This is On the Sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron, where we come to awaken, ascend, and expand. I am Pi Frisbee Metatron, your hostess with the mostest. And you guys definitely know the drill. Today is a very good day to be me. You know, every day is a very good day to be me. I believe this, I live this, I bees this, and I require this. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to clear ourselves. We're going to do that long 16 count breath. Breathe in through the nose 16, hold it for 16, and then release on your own count. And when you're doing that, clear your mind and ease your heart and balance your emotions and push away any negativity, any toxicity, anything that does not resonate with your highest good vibration. Breathe in. Hold. And release. Now, however and wherever you may be watching or listening to this broadcast, as safely as you can, I want you to look out, away from yourself. If you have a mirror, look in the mirror. If you have a windshield, look through the windshield. But look out, away from yourself, and repeat this after me. Today is a very good day to be me. You know, Every day is a very good day to be me. I believe this, I live this, I bees this, and I require this. And I guarantee you this. When you make that mantra part of your daily ritual, and then you go about doing the things that it motivates and inspires you to do, I guarantee you, your life gets better exponentially each and every day. I'm thankful and grateful for being here today. Woo! So all I can say right now is, woo! I'm grateful for the further dissipation of the heaviness of the release energy. I'm very, very, very mindful of the scapegoat and the victim energy that had been prevailing since the weekend, since that new Cancerian moon. uh, and I have had to check my own self twice, in the past 72 hours, from allowing someone else's toxicity to tip me over and get me outside of myself. One I will share with you because I think it is hilarious as hell. The other I'll keep to myself. But I have been in conversations with some religious folk. I'll just put it like that. Religious folk that share some similarities with my outer appearance. You know, I don't want to just say I've been talking to some Black Christians. Oops, I did say it. Uh-oh. I've been talking to some Black Christians about a myriad of subjects. Most of them are talking about, in a fearful and victimhood way, this so-called Project 2025, which then leads into uh, Orange Man is bad. But then I told him yesterday, I said, from the looks of Joe Biden, the last couple of times I seen him on TV, his ass look orange too. So he must be going the same tanning salon that Trump went to, because his ass looks orange too. But that's neither here nor there. And every situation, every solution, every comment that any of them made was wrapped in a scripture that really had nothing to do with the conversation we were having. And this went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So finally, my frustration with that tipped me over. And I said something to them that I don't regret. But every time I hear myself repeat it, it makes me cringe. Even for me, that's a bit much. However, I'm good, because those that know me know I'll give zero fucks. And I will apologize how you heard some shit, not how I said it. If I say it, that's what I mean. So after going back and forth and getting nowhere and getting all, no matter what, everything came back to Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I said, well, where the fuck was Jesus during slavery? And then, of course, they start justifying, and, oh, God wanted us to go through slavery. I said, why? Why did he pick us? Why did he pick Black people? Could pick, of all the folks he created, why did he pick that particular set? And then they went back to Jesus again, and Jesus, 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 Jesus. So this is what I said to them that makes me kind of cringe, but I'm not I don't regret saying it. I'm just like, oh, okay. I can see why their reaction after I said it was what it was. I told them, I said, y'all got y'all's head up Jesus's up so far up Jesus's ass that all you can ever see is holy shit. And yeah, that was the mic drop moment of the conversation. This was on a Zoom call, and you could literally hear some of the people going, "Oh my God, I don't believe he said that." Bloop, bloop. They thumbs down, and you're going to hell, and all of this, and I was laughing. Yes, yes, honeybee. All they can see is holy shit. That's it. That's it. And of course, I got reported, and I, I had to go sit in timeout in social media uh, timeout until this morning, um, and I still thought it was comical, because that has been true for me, both as a child growing up, and I grew up around a bunch of people who were, I mean, died in the wool and dipped in the blood of Christ, and that's all they talked about. That's you knew that that's all you was getting out of them. Uh, and then as I got older, and when I preached in the church, I knew a whole bunch of people that Jesus, 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 Jesus. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Uh, car car got repossessed. Thank you, Jesus. House burned down. Thank you, Jesus. Wait, stop. Stop. I'm not thanking nobody for no calamity. I'm grateful for everything. However, I don't have to be all like that, right? And I know y'all know some folk that is how they say it in the church, so holy ain't no earthly good. Yeah, you know where they can't see anything, because like I said, they got their head so far up Jesus's ass, all they can see is holy shit. Uh, how do you guys handle um, talking with folk that are over the top in anything, over the top in their religious beliefs, over the top in their political beliefs, over the top in whatever? How do you guys handle that? Because I normally don't even engage. However, these folks, I like engaging with these folks, going back and forth, uh, because it provides me my comic relief during the day. I don't take it serious. Some some folks think I do take it serious. I don't take it serious. But how do you deal with folk like that? Or do you just not deal with them, or do you just reserve yourself to say, well, that's just I know how they are? And I mean, Court, open up your mic. I'm put you on Front Street right now. Open up your mic, please, and talk to us about this phenomenon, because I know this phenomenon hits close to home with you.
Yeah, I used to engage in having those conversations with people, but after a while, like I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I understand that everyone has a different path. Everybody's not going to agree about the same stuff, and I'm okay with that. So I just kind of smile and nod and walk away.
Mhm.
Like if because after a certain, you know, um, time of being programmed a certain way, I don't have the energy to try to reprogram your mind, to try to
Mm-mm.
make you think or see things from another perspective. Like I don't have that in me. So if
Right.
that's where you are, I respect it, but I also don't have a conversation with you about it because I know that I don't feel the same way. And I
Hmm.
know that you're gonna want to argue about it. and you're gonna say that it's not an argument, and it's just gonna like it's gonna snowball. I don't have the time or the energy for that. So
Yeah.
I give it a quick little nod and a smile. Oh, okay. And that's the end of the conversation for me. And if you want to continue talking, like I might be present physically, but I don't hear anything you're saying. I'm not listening. I'm not taking the energy in. I'm not doing any of that.
I got you. I got you. Thank you for that. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. I will attempt to practice that. Miss Brown, are you able to chime in on anything about this part of the topic?
I really don't encourage certain topics or conversations when it comes to people. I try to protect my energy, so I pretty keep it, I keep it
I got
that
you.
simple. Yeah.
I
I just
got
know
you.
what I'm doing. Before, I'm not the argumentative type. I keep very quiet and to
Hmm.
myself. I'm more observant. So I
Hmm.
more just kind of sit back and listen to what people have to say. If I feel the need to chime into the conversation, then I will. But most of the time, if I know it's not a topic or something that I feel like is being educationally spoke about, or you know what I'm trying to say, in
Hmm.
depth about speaking, it's just something that I'm not going to encourage or
Okay.
even indulge. So.
Okay. All right. All right. That, yeah, yeah. Well, with me being the podcaster and the social media guy, there are certain and I like talking politics as long as it don't get personal. I like talking politics, and I would love to talk religion to people who are not stuck and indoctrinated, man. But it is hard to talk in this day and age. It's hard to talk to people about politics, especially if your view is different than theirs or different than the group. I never subscribe to groupthink. Groupthink can eat a bag of fresh ones, as far as I'm concerned, because yeah, I've always been an independent free thinker, and in fact, whatever the group is thinking, I'm gonna go do the other shit, the opposite shit of what the whole group is thinking, because yeah. But and the thing that gets me so bad about this, and for those who just tapped in, Tamala and Alanya, I'm talking about a couple of conversations that I've had with some religious people over the past few days, and no matter what the question was, they answered the question with a inappropriate scripture and always ran back to Jesus. And I finally I didn't stay on my high flying disc. I got down in the gutter and I started challenging them on some stuff. And when they kept going back to Jesus, even when it didn't make any sense, I told them this. I said, y'all got y'all's head so far up Jesus's ass that all you ever will be able to see is holy shit. And then the floodgates started, and yeah, I'm going to hell and I'm blaspheming, and let me pray for you. No, pray for yourself. So the question I asked was, how do you deal with folk that that are just so far indoctrinated that no matter what you say, they're just going to keep going to it? And then And then this is what really, really, really just puts a burr in my saddle, man, is that they come back with you with the Bible says, the Bible says, the Bible says, and I tell them the Bible ain't no reference, ain't no authoritarian reference to shit. It was made up. And then, of course, that causes a whole nother discussion. Miss Williams, chime in and tell us about your father, how he told that to your mom. That's funny.
Um, well, what happened was it was a situation basically regarding me.
Uh-huh.
And my mother basically was like, she didn't want to be of any assistance or support for me and my daughter at the time. My dad was like, why? And she like, because, according to her religious regulations and rules, she's not allowed to engage with me. You know what I'm saying? And he like basically told her, he was like, you got your head so far up your religion's ass that you can see straight. And that was kind of like the last conversation that they
I know it was.
and they've always talked, even though they separated everything that happened. They had always talked, but they was like that was probably like one of the last conversations they ever had. And I was like, I was going through my Saturn return.
Ooh.
It was right before my Saturn return when I was going through the most when I was out there. And my dad was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I already know where she's coming from because that's her belief system. But it's like, I can't see myself being that way with my own children.
No.
Or I just don't, like, we just completely like separated, like as if we not family. Right. And it's like, not to, live a lie to please you. I'd rather tell you the truth that this not for me. I'm glad it's working for you, but this ain't for me.
Hey, like I've always said, and thank you for that, Ms. Williams. Like I've always said, there are a lot of other worse shit people can get caught up in than Christianity. There's a whole lot of other worse shit on this planet that you can be a sucker for than Christianity. And being that I was on the other side of the pulpit, I was standing in the power position. I know that the basic tenets of Christianity that are followed by the dedicated people, it helps those people. It truly, I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've put a program together based solely on tenets in the Bible in a recovery home, and I've seen people who follow that get themselves sober. So, and believe me when I say this, I never ever want to come off as I'm shitting on somebody's religion. Hey, I don't care who you follow, what you believe. I'm glad you believe something. I just have always put religion in its proper place, especially once I graduated or ascended from religion. Again, this is not to shit on anybody's religion, not to make fun of anybody who's religious. And when you meet up with your mastered self and your mastered self wants to go to church and be religious, then damn it, go ahead. Because that's truly what your soul came here for. So I just like some of us have been preachers, some folks incarnate just to sit in the pews so the preacher has somebody to preach to. What? So it's all good. But yeah, it's a difficult situation when they always go back to that book. and yeah, I get a real good kick out of that. A really, really good kick out of that. Tamala, how are you? Unmute yourself. Say hello if you can. We can't hear you yet. I can't hear you.
All right.
Oh,
there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Well, no, I'm actually really saddened about my sister being a bitch. That's kind of just laying it out there.
Okay.
Over something so trite. And I just feel so like unwelcomed and unappreciated and projected onto.
Okay.
And I just think it's shitty of her and immature. And like, I'm just taking it really personally, which you're not supposed to do, like the 4 agreements,
You're supposed to be unbothered.
And so I'm kind of
and use this as a learning and growth opportunity to talk to her and find out what the real issue is.
Exactly, like what's really bothering.
Yeah, instead of you taking it personal and brooding about it and feeling unappreciated. I don't think it's anything about unappreciation as much as maybe it's just not some clearly defined boundaries. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. And it's nothing to get bent out of shape about. I mean, and it's not
I know, it's not in the big picture.
And
I
it's not like
just
you could break. It's not like you could break up with your sister. She's your sister.
I can't. Are you sure? Because I want to.
Oh,
No,
so
no. Yeah.
it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Just
Yeah. Thanks
use this
for
as
letting me join.
as the bridge to more hot conversations between you, honest, open, and transparent.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that
Yep.
right there will take care of everything. You guys be honest, open, and transparent with each other one time, and it will fix everything. I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Good.
I'll take that nugget.
All
I'll
right.
let you know how that rolls out.
Please do. Keep me posted.
Thanks for the thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna listen to you on the way to a meeting with my dog.
Sounds good. All right, you guys. We're going to dive deeper into your spiritual self personality today. And as I was putting this together, and as I've been thinking about putting this together, there have been instances that have challenged my spiritual self personality to stay on that high flying disc. And I'm grateful for that. So let's get back into it. Your spiritual self personality, it's assigned to the sacral chakra. This is the brief intro from the other day. Your spiritual self personality resides in your soul, and it serves as your guidance system throughout your life. It influences the how and the what you align with and practice on the spiritual plane of existence, as well as determines what you feed into your soul in reference to your spiritual ideology, your spiritual mindset, and your spiritual life and lifestyle. Your spiritual self-personality is where your ethics, habits, manners, morals, values are formed and serves as the seat of your character, conduct, and consciousness. Now, many of us grew up in households where physical punishment, getting hit and popped and pinched and snatched and slapped and whooped and all of that was really just a part of the culture, part of being at home. No matter how many times I got whooped, I told y'all when I was in like first grade, second grade, third grade, every day I come home from school, I got my ass whooped because I had grass stains on my pants. Now, if external discipline was the determining factor of your character, your morals, your character, your ethics, then you would think after maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them ass whoopings, I would have put the shit together in my head and hey, grass stains on pants equal ass whooping. So, but I never put that together because the whoopings, like I said, the first couple I was shocked that I got them. But after the first couple, I didn't cry anymore because none of them hurt. Not physically. Yeah, you're shocked. You're emotionally shocked when you get hit with that belt. They don't really hurt, especially you got pants on. And my mama, she was thin. She could swing a belt now, but she wasn't Willie Mays with a bat, So yeah, my morals and your manners and your values, they come from you, and you're born with them. You Your mother and father didn't beat them into you or teach them into you or anything. You were born with them. What we do as children is we adjust accordingly, according to the parents, but you come in with your own ethics and your own habits and your own manners and morals and values, and you develop your character and you control your conduct and you are responsible for your consciousness. Anybody got any comments about that? Anybody want to chime in about that? You think your parents gave you your morals? Think your parents gave you your ethics? Think they were responsible for shaping and molding your character? You can't shape and mold humans nothing. Go ahead, Miss Williams. Go ahead.
Okay. I definitely would say no, because it's a lot of things that my mother would do that for her consciously she felt like it was okay, but I would question her, like, why would you do that? Like, what was the point of you doing that? And she would tell me, like, because she can, or she felt like it was the right thing, and I'd be like, but how? Like, what made you draw that conclusion? Because I don't understand. Like, why didn't you do it this way, or why didn't you say this, or why didn't you say it this way? And then she would just look at me with her like puzzle, and I'd be like, I mean, well, shit. Like, you supposed to be the example, you supposed to be the parent. So I'm asking, why is this the example you're setting for me? Because I feel like if it was reversed, you would have an issue or a problem with it. So I'm just trying to understand your course of thinking.
Absolutely. Make it make sense to me, and then we're good.
Yeah, we argued a lot.
Oh, you sound like you was growing up in the house with me and my grandmother and mother and aunts. Yeah, because I really couldn't understand. I knew they were speaking English, but the concepts that they were talking about were so foreign to me, and I was very opinionated and from a very young age, and they would try their little scare tactics. If you don't get out of here, and I would be standing there like, what? Because I wasn't afraid of anything other than my grandmother. She was the only thing I was ever really afraid of in this lifetime was my grandmother. That's it. I've been in some tense situations. I've been in some situations I didn't know what was going to happen. But as far as being afraid of somebody else, fuck you talking about, man, you better go somewhere. So yeah, I pop off. And to me, it wasn't popping off. I guess I was Captain Obvious. I'm just, and it's really tough for a kid like me who come in with super intelligent learning capability, and I'm in a house with grandmother who made it to second grade, and grandfather, yeah, I don't even know if he ever even went to school. And my mother was brilliant, but she had a stroke, so all of her shit was jumbled up inside her head. And when it came out the mouth, it would go, instead of it coming out like this, it would. So I thought I was, hey, I'm the answer man. And nope, it's like this. And my grandma used to tell me, she said, boy, it ain't your job to educate everybody in the world and correct everybody when they say something wrong. And I was like, why? Wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to know that what you said was wrong so you don't look stupid and repeat it? But yeah, I didn't get it. One of the biggest instances of that was when I was preaching in the church, and there is a famous saying that gets fucked up every time it is said in the church. Normally it goes like this: the preacher starts off with, "You shall know the truth," and then the congregation sings it back, "and the truth shall set you free." Well, I stopped them right there when they said set, because it doesn't say set in the Bible. In that passage, it says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." But because preachers have over and 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 over said it'll set you free, folks don't even read that shit. They just blah. And I was reprimanded. I was scolded by the pastor for pointing that out to the congregation. He literally told me to let them stay ignorant. I was just like, that was the beginning of the end for me at the church. Right there, when the pastor told me as a preacher to let the congregation stay ignorant. That let me know it wasn't about the soul, it was about the toll. Toll. You know. All right. Thank you for that, Miss Williams. Many of us have been either indoctrinated by religion, either by force or by choice, or have been guilted, pressured, or coerced into a regular attendance schedule because we were either powerless and didn't have the personal spiritual authority to not attend. Think about your childhood. Anybody on here was made, was dragged, was coerced, was threatened every Sunday morning to get your ass up and go, we're going to church. Anybody got dragged to church every time the doors was open? How'd it make you feel, Court? How'd that make you feel? Open up your mic. This is going to be one of them type of shows. So open up your mic, please. Open up your mic, Court. How'd that make you feel? There's a little girl. You're a little girl. I'm not talking about grown 19, 20, 21-year-old Courtney. I'm talking about 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Well, it was a bit different for me because my parents divorced when I was really, really young, and my mom's side was Jehovah's Witness, and my dad's side was Baptist.
Ooh,
So when I was with my
combination.
mom, when I was with my mom, I had to go to the Kingdom Hall once or twice a week. But going to visit my dad, I was in church 3, 4, 5 times a week. And when I was like 10 or 11, my dad's wife was like, "You need to make a decision if you're gonna be a Jehovah's Witness or a Baptist." And I was like, "Why can't I just be a child?" like, like why? Who gives children ultimatums because they don't want to buy Christmas presents? Just buy me the gifts and leave me alone, woman. Like, it was really frustrating. It was really frustrating. And then as I got older, when I went to college, my dad was like, "You need to find a church to go to." I was like, "You ain't had me in church enough. I need a break."
Yeah.
And then let me decide if I want to go back.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Miss Williams, chime in, please. I know you got something similar.
Yeah, my parents were the same way. My dad and then went to church, and my mother is a witness.
Ooh,
so her whole
that's a
family,
deadly combination right there.
Yeah, the whole side of her family is. So it was always when she started going back when I was about 7, 8, she started back, and it was after her Saturn return she chose to go back. So it was like our whole lifestyle had to basically change according to what she wanted. But then when we went to my dad's house, it was like, well, you can't do this and you can't do that, and if you think about doing this, then you need to think about that. And I just be like,
Pen, man, I don't need to think about shit.
I don't this is too much responsibility for me to be thinking about. Right. I just want to live. I just want to enjoy my time at my house. I'm not trying to think about making you upset or mad or whatever. It was just too. It was too much. And then it was like I had to do everything according to what pleased her, because the pleasing of her somehow equated to the pleasing of
Jesus. Or God or whoever, pastor, whoever, whatever deity. Yeah. So you get favor with them by pleasing your mother. Yeah, using all that manipulated shit.
Yeah. My dad would just be so calm and cool about it, and I was just be looking at him like, how did you
how you meet this chick?
But she wasn't practicing when they met. They wasn't practicing. It was something she went back to after that. So yeah, it was real pick a side, choose a side. Do you want to live this way or do you want to live this way? Because if you don't live my way, then you gotta leave. And I'm like,
Ooh.
It's too much.
Ooh, that's way too much. That's way too much. You know, thank you for that. I had some neighbors lived across the street from me when I was a kid. And I kid you not, you guys, I would get up and I would be on the porch around 9 o'clock, 9:15, and I would be listening because the fun would be beginning about 9 a.m., 9:15, you know, when before it's time to start getting ready to go to Sunday school, where a lady across the street, she would start whooping the kids and cussing them out and threatening them and all of that and getting them dressed, and then the little ones running, getting dirty and got jelly on it, and yeah. And by the time they all would come out of the house to get in the car to go, the kids be lined up and and look like they just been beat up and battered, and all of them mad, and they would be traumatized before they even got in the car. They'd be traumatized. Fast forward to when I was preaching in the church, and I would see the same thing. These kids coming in, getting out of the cars, and I would purposefully stand at the back door and watch the folks when they get out of their cars and walk into church. And the kids, they be so traumatized, man. You know how many folk in life that are traumatized, not just from the scary ass stories that they tell you in church, just traumatized coming and going to church. You know how many kids been threatened in the middle of the pew, if you don't shut them, I'll whoop your ass, by your mama or your daddy in the middle of the service, and then they just looking blessed. I mean, you look at them like, how can you even say bless God and you just threaten to kill me if I didn't shut up? It's just amazing, man. It's just amazing. When you don't have your personal spiritual authority, you can't make a choice on that. And then not only that, couple that with you already don't have your spiritual authority to either choose to go or not. Then at 8, 9, 10, they're gonna put it to you, are you gonna be a witness or are you gonna be a Baptist? Like, you know the difference. Like, you 10, I don't know if I want a 50-50 bar or an ice cream cone, man. That's the only choices I'm really wanting to make at 10 years old. Do I want to play baseball or do I want to run track? Yes, Court, go right ahead.
I just want to be clear that I definitely understood the difference at the age that she
Oh, I
asked
know.
me.
No. I
I
know.
just, yeah, because my grandmother had asked me, she was like, "What they teach you in the Baptist church anyway?" And I was telling her, I was like, "They teach the same thing they teach in the Kingdom Hall,
Yes, they
that
do.
that God is God, Jesus is God's son, and we're right and they're wrong."
Yes. But
And
but
that's literally what I told her.
and
And so I knew, I just was like, this is not a conversation that I want to have. The 10-year-old, I want to go outside and ride my bike and
right.
not talk to you. And then I'm going to visit you for Christmas. Like, why are you giving me ultimatums? Like, just buy me the Christmas gifts. Just, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep, really. It really isn't. I mean, yeah. It really is. You know, is really tragic what we do to our children, and how we get manipulated and pulled and pushed and prodded and coerced and threatened, all in the name of religion, or all in the name of the family, or all in the name of whatever it is. Uh, and it's not until we get older, and most of us, it's not until we get past our first Saturn return that we really start looking back at this shit and be like, wow, that was fucked up. What happened, man? That really wasn't cool, you know? As we grow into our personal spiritual authority, some of us gravitate away from the strict religious doctrine for various reasons, and each of those reasons is valid for the specific individual. Some of us recognize the many contradictions that organized religion presents and continue to drift further away, while others either see the contradictions and continue to stay aligned. I know a lot of people like that. or they don't see them at all. You know anybody that you can explain to them the contradictions in the Bible and they still look at you like, yeah, so what? I had a guy, I broke down the Bible for him. I showed him where it was made up at the Council of Nicaea, and I, showed him the contradictions and the fallacy of the Bible. And he admitted to me, he said, brother, you are right. He said, but you know what? I'm sticking with Jesus because I built my whole life on this. Can you imagine building your whole life on something and then coming to the realization it's a lie, but you stick with it anyway because that's all you got? Or can you imagine being that afraid of the unknown, that afraid to even say something like that? And then the other folks, the other ones that don't see them at all, them is the ones that's dipped all the way in the blood, come up for a breath, and then they get dyed in the wool of the lamb. It don't matter. They don't see them at all because they will flip it and twist it and deflect it, ching, like Wonder Woman, ching, 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 ching. And it don't matter what you say to them, they don't care. It's the same people that said, the folks that don't see the contradictions and the conflicts of religion at all, is them the same people that say that they would vote for Joe Biden if he was in a coma. The same people. If that don't make no sense, I don't know what else. Yeah, 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 absolutely. But any comments so far? This is another one that I'm getting ready to give to y'all that's gonna trigger Christians and spiritual religious people. Y'all ready for this? This is an announcement. Hear ye, hear ye. Religion is not a spiritual self-personality thing. Y'all still with me? Ain't nobody throwing internet tomatoes at me yet, right? Okay. Religion is not a spiritual self-personality thing. It is an emotional and intellectual self-personality thing that can appease your spiritual self-personality until you choose to awaken to your spiritual self-personality. You guys understand what I mean by that? Religion is not a spiritual thing. And I know the Christians and the Jews, all of the different religions, I know they're gonna, well, what is it then? It's an emotional thing, and it's an intellectual thing. It's not a spiritual thing. If it was, then all of the shenanigans that go on wouldn't. All of the lies that they tell, they couldn't. All of the money that they steal, they shouldn't. All of the sex, it shouldn't happen. If it was a spiritual thing, it should not happen. It's an emotional thing. Religion is emotional. Religion feeds on your emotion. And you're attracted to it because of your intellect. Tamala, you want to say something? I think you was wanting to chime in. Unmute yourself and chime in, please. It's all right. We got time. We got time. We got time. You'll figure it out. Not yet.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Um, I wasn't chiming in, but I'll take the moment to speak. I grew up kind of eating the whole enchilada of
Okay.
programming of religion, Christianity. I was a peacemaker in my home, and I just wanted everyone to be happy and please everybody. And I was
Okay.
into Jesus and the
Hey,
church youth group and the choir and all of it.
good.
I started questioning some major things when I was 19,
All right.
like hell in general, and I think people should have the right to choose their sexuality and women have the right to choose. Period. And those seemed outside of the box of Christianity. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm outside of the box of Christianity, and I started exploring my own spirituality.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And thank you for that, Tamala. And just because you had the audacity to think that you could choose your own spirituality and that you could choose your own sexuality, the religious people that you were associated with wanted to kick your ass out of the church, didn't they? They wanted you to go. They ostracize you. They look at you different. They treat you a little different. And yeah, that's not good, man. That's not good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Tamala. That's not good at all, man. That's not good. Um, Religion. If you unmute yourself, go ahead. If you still want to say something, unmute yourself. You keep trying again. It'll happen. Try it again. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Um, so once once you come to this awakening, and once you decide to seek out, search for, and secure your own spiritual shit, and once you awaken to your spiritual self personality, this awakening will cause you to ask yourself some very important questions that need honest, open, and transparent answers only you can provide. So I'm talking to us when we, because each of us has come to that crossroad. Each of us has come to that place to where, okay, if I go this way, I'll stick with religion. But if I go this way, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing. And so I'm not talking, the questions that I'm asking are not for those that have been a long way away from the break from the church. However, these are still questions that we still want to ask ourselves even right now. The first question should be, when you want to awaken to your spiritual self personality, the first question should be, are my current spiritual beliefs my own, or did someone else force them on me? That's the first question. The next question should be, where did my spiritual beliefs receive the most influence? Was it church? Was it at home? Did you go to a parochial school, and then so you had it at home, at school, and at church? Was you just totally engulfed in it? I know families that's when you get done with your homework, go get the Bible, and that's all they did. The girls wore skirts all the way down to their heels, and ugh, ugh. Where did your spiritual beliefs receive the most influence? And then one more question should be, who influenced my spiritual beliefs the most? Was it your parents? Was it a pastor? Was it a youth pastor, a camp counselor, maybe one of your friends? You know, and again, I'm talking when we are at the beginning of this awakening to this spiritual self. And then always remember, if it doesn't awake, then I must not partake. No matter what you do, if it's in pursuit of your spirituality, if what you are indulging in doesn't awaken something in you, doesn't activate something in you, doesn't inspire something in you, then you must kick that to the curb. That's not for you. I done been exposed to so much shit, so much spiritual shit in my life, and you know, some things resonate very strongly with me, and some things foul up my nose like shit. And things that resonate strongly, I gravitate towards. And things that stink like shit, I run from. And it doesn't matter what it is. Any comments? Any questions? All right. As you begin to the process of arranging your spiritual lifestyle puzzle pieces, you must start the process according to the principle of as within, so without, or internally first, then externally. There is very little, if anything, outside of yourself that can validate or confirm your spirituality. How many of us know, you know, some of us been in recovery. Some of us have had substance abuse issues. And so this principle that I'm getting ready to talk about is not going to be foreign to anyone that has been exposed to recovery and or has overcome an addiction. Nothing outside of you is going to help you. Yeah, you have to go within, and you got to do the work within. You see, yeah. See, I can go into any liquor store. I can go to any establishment that serves alcohol. I can go to any place like that. And as long as I don't buy any alcohol, guess the fuck what? I won't drink. So it's not the bar, it's not the liquor store, it's not the restaurant or anything like that. I make the choice before I even go. I make the choice inside of me. Nothing outside of you can validate or confirm your spirituality. Now, yeah, go to a retreat. Go to a sweat lodge experience. Go to a drum circle. Go to any of those things. It doesn't make you, that don't make you spiritual. And that doesn't validate your spirituality. It just doesn't. You are spiritual in here first. The fact that some go to church or church type services on a regular basis doesn't necessarily make you spiritual. It makes you a regular attendee, dedicated member, somebody they can count on every week to put a little something in the plate, in the robbery plate. I mean, the collection plate. What makes you spiritual is personal and can only be defined by you, not by where you go to fellowship or what you do to feed your soul. Most everything that you do on a daily basis is spiritual in nature and in fact. Let's talk about that. Well, let me get to this part first. Becoming aware of the rituals in your daily life is the next important part of awakening to your spiritual self personality. And some of these rituals are known to you and others are unknown. Some of these rituals are willingly practiced while others can be done unwillingly. Let's talk about this for a minute. Most everything we do in our life is spiritual in nature, and in fact, and most every routine that we practice is a ritual. Perfect example. When you are picking out your clothes, say you got a fancy date or an interview, or you just going out somewhere and you want to make a really good impression, do you just go look in your closet and just start picking any old shit out of there? Oh yeah, this red dress and these gray shoes and this purple hat. Yeah, that ought to look good. No, you don't. It takes time. You take time. You open up the closet. First, you think about where you're going, right? You get and you think about what the occasion is. You think about what your intention for going is. You think about what you want to manifest by going there. And then you think okay, so you get all of that together. Now, how do I make my appearance match all of this that I want to accomplish? Then you start putting stuff together. Oh yeah. You might take out 3 or 4 outfits, lay them down, 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, lay them down, all your accessories, lay them down, and then you'll sit there and you'll ponder. You might try on a couple of them. That's a ritual. Y'all, when you're cooking, you go in the kitchen, do you just get a pot, throw it on the stove, and just get the shit out of the cabinet and throw it over your head into the pot? No, I don't think so. Or do you think about it? Ruminate over what you're going to cook for yourself. Do you start to plan what you're going to cook? Do you start thinking, do I have thus and such? And what do I need to do this? And last time I put artichoke in it and it gave me gas. So this time I put this in it and see if it's, and then once you start to measure your ingredients, that's a ritual. That's spiritual. If it calls for a 1/4 cup of salt, you just don't get the salt shaker and just be like, yeah, that's about a 1/4 cup. No, my grandmother used to do that, but that's a different story. She could measure with her heart and her hand, but you know what I'm talking about, Court. You take your time. You take your time. It's step by anything you do, step by step. Every time you do it is a ritual. Let me share this with you. Let me share this with you about a ritual. You have yes, first step, turn on that music, getting in the right frame of mind. You have to work outside of the home, and you take the same route to work and the same route home from work every day. Every day. Same, up to Decatur, up to Flamingo, however you go, and then back. When you go to Starbucks, do you order the same coffee? When you go to your go-to restaurant, do you order the same meal? Do you hope that the same waiter or waitress is there? With your habits, do you? I'm a beer drinker. I buy the same beer. When I buy beer, I buy the same amount of beer and I drink the same amount of beer for 2 nights or 3 nights or however many nights that the number of beers I buy will last. Believe it or not, that's a ritual. How you brush your teeth? Do you just and not paying attention, not thinking about shit? No, you brush your teeth to clean them. And you do it every day. At least I hope you do. I do a couple times every day. And it's a ritual. I just don't, haphazardly. I turn the water on. I put my brush to get it wet. I put the paste on it. I do this, and then I count 120 seconds of brushing. And then I get my Listerine, and I put the Listerine in my mouth, and then I swish my teeth for 97 seconds. And then I gargle for 34 seconds. Every time I brush my teeth. Some folks might say that's OCD. That's a ritual. Anybody want to chime in and talk about some of the rituals that may be in your life? Everything we do is spiritual. Everything, the way you go shopping at the store, the way you put your list together, the way you go up and down aisles. I do this when I'm going shopping for myself. The one time a month that I do my bulk shopping, I go to the same store, I enter in the same door, and I go up and back and up and back. And I go through the aisles the way I go through the aisles. Yes, Miss Williams, go right ahead.
I was gonna say my cleaning
Yes.
rituals.
Yes.
Cleaning rituals. Whether it's me, how I make my floor wash,
Yes.
the direction that I clean my floors, going in the door or out the door,
There you go.
the the day that I choose to clean,
Yes.
what music I'm playing when I'm cleaning, like all of that, all of it.
You don't think the bath that you take is a ritual? You don't think that shower you take is a ritual? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No matter what, your days are filled with these rituals, and it is up to you to recognize them and work with them accordingly. Always remember, if it doesn't illuminate, then I must not associate. All right. All right. We're going to run on and finish this up now. Your personal ethics, personal morals, and personal values are shaped and formed by your spiritual self-personality. And your inner character, your physical conduct, and your mental consciousness are strongly influenced and regulated by your spiritual self-personality and have very little to do with what the laws of society are and more to do with how aligned you are with your personal code of conduct that you incarnated with. Did either of y'all that's on here still, did you have to be told what was right and what was wrong when you was a little kid? Did you have to be told how to love and play nice with your classmates and your family? Or did you just inherently know? Did you have to be taught that lying was wrong? Or did you just know? Did you just know telling the truth was better, was easier? You knew you were born knowing. Liars are born. They're not made or developed. You're born a liar or you're born a truth teller. And liars can eventually tell the truth and truth tellers can tell lies. Lying is an esteem issue. Feeling bad about something, some kind of lack in you or your country or whatever, your party or whatever. Yeah, here come the lies. Lies are an esteem issue because you don't want to get caught foul. Religion has its own code of conduct, albeit being very conflicting and confusing. We already talked about that. And society has adopted its code of morality from many of those conflicting and confusing religious tenets. So, okay, we got religion that in my belief, I believe that religion is the reason why there is so much sexual bullshit going on in the world because of religion. Had religion not made sex taboo and had religion not put this unrealistic no sex before marriage shit, and had religion not guilted people into, oh, you're only supposed to have sex when you're having babies. Bullshit. Religion is the reason for most of the sexual perversion goes on in this world. By tapping into the universal laws and adopting them as your personal guidance system, you will be able to rise above the limitations of society and live a totally spiritual life and lifestyle. I am going to share something with y'all. You two that are still on here, y'all already know this. I live by my own personal code. It is steeped in the universal laws. Most of man's law is covered. However, some of the man's law that is not covered, I don't follow. I will be a agricultural pharmaceutical representative as long as I am alive. And I will augment and supplement my income accordingly, because I don't believe that any government should be able to tell anybody that if I put a seed in the ground and put some water on it, wait 9 months, and then pull it up and dry it and smoke it, y'all can go, do what you want to do. I don't believe they don't regulate tomatoes. And you do the same thing with a tomato. Put a seed in the ground and you water it and you let it grow. And when the tomatoes come off the plant, you could pick it and eat it. Nobody will say nothing. Same thing with a watermelon. Same thing with, you can do that in Costa Rica. You can put seed and grow a coca plant. So I don't believe that a government should tell me that I can't participate in something that is natural, that's been on the earth longer than the government and will be on this earth after that government is gone. So that law, I don't care if it wasn't legal in the state of Nevada, I would still be doing what I do. When it wasn't legal in the state of California, I was doing what I did. And everywhere, I was in the military overseas in Japan, and I was an agricultural pharmaceutical representative. Everywhere. everywhere. When I worked in corporate America, I'm yeah. See, because I was a firm believer in I only have to pass one piss test, just one, and I know how to do that. That's my own personal code of conduct. If I want to smoke some weed, I'm gonna smoke some weed. And no law that says it's illegal is gonna make me stop. But that's my own code of conduct. My own code of conduct says if the speed limit is 65 and they let you drive 74, I'm gonna stay between 65 and 74 because my own personal code of conduct is so tight that I would rather stay within those parameters than get a damn ticket and have to pay it. I live by my own code of conduct. If the police get behind my car that I'm driving and they flash lights, guess the fuck what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull over. Now, I'm going to talk to them like I know how to talk to them when they come up to my window, but I'm not going to get out and run away. I ain't going to speed off and go into no chase with the cops. I'm not going to point a weapon at them. And I'm not going to get in a fight with them. However, I will protect myself from a murderous police officer. I will. And I will let them know that you don't have probable cause for pulling me over. I got a whole spiel that I go through that works. But yeah, police get behind me, I'm going to pull over because that's in my code of conduct. If I get caught committing a crime, I am going to tell on myself. I'm not going to waste my time going to trial. I'm not going to waste the government's time going to trial. I ain't going to have my family in and out of court, and I'm not going to be a soundbite for nobody's TV crew. If I did the shit, yep, I did it. Let's just go ahead and get to the guilty and send my ass on where you're going to send me. That's my own code of conduct. First of all, I'm not going to commit no crime. I'm a firm believer in this. You want to keep black and brown people out of jail, tell the black and brown people stop committing crime. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By tapping into the universal laws and adopting them as your personal guidance system, you will be able to rise above the limitations of society and live a totally spiritual life and lifestyle. Knowing your personal rights and wrongs and aligning them with the laws, morals, and society's code of conduct is a seamless exercise, as every societal law, moral, and code of conduct comes from these higher principles. Always remember this: if it doesn't align, then I must not co-sign. Regardless of what anyone thinks, feels, or believes, your soul's journey is a compilation of many and various awakenings. And this is how you experience every incarnation here in the third dimension. It ain't no just random acts and you just la, 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 and not subject to anything. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. No. Your shit is laid out and your awakenings are in your path and in your soul's journey. Do y'all remember the stop, drop, and roll drill from school? Just put a thumbs up if you do. When you was in grade school, y'all had that stop, drop, and roll. You know, that earthquake prepared shit. Yeah. All right. Now is the time for you to do that drill as an awakened or awakening soul. Here we go. Stop believing spiritual things that were forced upon you without your consent and without doing your own free thinking research. Drop all limiting, exclusive, and externally focused spiritual beliefs, doctrines, systems, and organizations. Roll with every spiritual belief, doctrine, and system that awakens you, that allows your soul to ascend, and that assists your mind to expand, and that points you back to self. Now's the time for you to become as confident in your personal spirituality as religious people are in their beliefs. Awaken to your mastered self. Any comments, any questions, any last minute revelations or additions? It's a whole lot to each and every one of us, man. Not just one little sun sign in Western astrology. And Court, I saw your notice about your disappointment. Western astrology got a lot of folks that'll be disappointed if they ever get a real sidereal reading. It's a lot of folks that think they're Aquarius, actually Capricorn or Pisces. It's a lot of folk think they're Leo, actually Cancer or Virgo. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Any comments? Anybody want to add anything? Want to say anything? You want to chime in about your disappointment, Court? Or are you just going to be okay with it until the next meeting?
No, I don't accept.
Okay. If there will be nothing else, this has been On the Sevens with Pifers B. Metatron, where we come to awaken to our mastered self, ascend with our evolving soul, and expand our consciousness mind. We are thankful and grateful for each and every one of you for your support and your encouragement. Please continue to keep On the Sevens with Pifers B. Metatron a part of your soul's journey as your mastered self awaits you. Let me leave you with this. What your name cosmically requires, and your soul spiritually desires, and your mind consciously inspires, your body will physically aspire, your emotions will intensely transpire, your intellect will proactively inquire, and your mastered self will most definitely acquire. Always be authentically you, unapologetically. And until Tuesday, goodbye for now. Zen Uru.